I've already explained scope to you earlier, but let's do this in more detail now. Now, a variable is only available from inside the region that we have created it, and this is called the scope, which means that a local scope will be a variable created inside a function, and that would be called as the local scope, and it can only be used inside the function. For example, if we write x is equal to 300 and I say print x and we write my func, we get the result as 300, right? Now this means that the value of x will not be available outside the function, but it is available for any function inside the function, which means that if I say that define my, let's say, inner function, so there's another function within the first function, and then we write this will be print, and then we write my inner function, and if I try to print, our result comes as 300, which means that the local variable can be accessed from a function within the function. For a global scope, we want to create a variable that is in the main body of the Python code, and that is what is the global scope, which means that global variables are available from within any scope, either local or global. So we say that x is equal to 300, x is equal to 300, and then we define my function, and then we print x. Okay, then my function, and then print x, right? Okay, what, we don't need this, so the result comes as 300, like this. Let me just click on print x once again, right? So you notice that, wait a minute, I don't want to do this here, so let me just undo this. Okay, let's do that once again. X is equal to 300, and then we say my function, and then we write print x, and then we write my function, and then print x. So you notice that we get 300 two times. One is the print that is in the function, the other is the print outside the function. But because x was declared as a global scope, it is working in both cases. All right. Now let's say that we want to operate within the same variable name inside and outside of a function. Python will treat them as two separate variables. So one is in the global scope and one is in the local scope. For example, if x is equal to 300 and I define my function and say that x is equal to 200, now x is defined as a global and as a local scope. And we will click on print x. We will write print x, and then we write my function, and then we say print x. Now you notice the result comes as 200 and 300. The first one is picking up the local scope and the second one is picking up the global scope. If you want to create a global variable but are stuck in the local scope, you can use the global keyword. For example, we can write my function and global x like this. And then we say that x is equal to 300 and then my function and then print x, right? Now this means that x will act globally. All right. Let's do one final example. Here we write x is equal to 300 and we write define my function global x and x is equal to 200, my function, and then print x. So think about what the answer would be. Would it be 300 or would it be 200? Now the answer comes as 200 because even though we originally defined it as 300, we are reassigning it as 200.